Yes, I'm live now. Welcome once again to the new video. This is Sahoo and you are watching Sahoo's tutorial. I think now I am clearly audible to everyone. Will you please let me know in the comment box if I am clearly audible to everyone? Yes, I'm live now. Yes. Now it's okay. Thank you for your patience. Hmm. Okay. So you all know that yesterday I had discussed some important MCQ questions for the upcoming CUET PG English Literature exam. This is part 2 and I am conducting mega mock test session for the upcoming CUET PG English exam. I also recommend you, will suggest you to watch all the videos of previous years that I had already made, like CUET PG 2023-24. Those videos are also beneficial for CUET PG exam. And yeah, this is part 2. Here I'll be covering some important MCQ questions along with some explanation as well. Okay, please do join and say hi in the comment box. Okay, so without wasting your time, let's begin the session. And I am your mentor for UGC NET English paper 1 all said gates UTPG English CPET PAMDET all. Okay, so let's begin the session without wasting your time, and here is the first question on your screen. That is question number 16. The term hegemony was developed by which Marxist theorist? Who developed the term hegemony? Options: Karl Marx, Antonio Gramsci, Theodor Adorno, Louis Althusser. What is the right answer here? Who developed the term hegemony? Here you see exactly it's Antonio Gramsci, Nitu. Exactly. Antonio Gramsci has developed the term hegemony. Here you see the term hegemony is actually developed by this Italian Marxist philosopher called Antonio Gramsci. Ideas on hegemony are best known from his prison notebooks, and you know that Gramsci was actually imprisoned by whom? By Mussolini. Mussolini imprisoned Gramsci for much of his life. Actually, he used this term hegemony to describe how the ruling class exerts cultural, ideological, and moral leadership over the working class. So you see the term hegemony comes from the Greek word hegemonia, which means what? Dominance over. Okay, dominance over. These ideas on hegemony are still influential today, are used in communication studies as well to explore the relationship between power, culture, and communication. Okay, got it? Right answer. Now here is a question number 17. Which novel by Thomas Hardy features the character Bathsheba Everdeen, Taste of the Devil's, Jude the Obscure, Far from the Madding Crowd, and the Mayor of Casterbridge? In which novel the character Bathsheba appear of Thomas Hardy? Which one is the right answer here? Bathsheba is actually, we have also another important character from this novel, exactly Nitu, that is Gabriel Oak. Okay, we have also Gabriel Oak. Okay, who is Seyfert. Who is Seyfert actually. So far from the madding crowd actually. Will you please write down in the comment box that the title of this novel, Far from the Madding Crowd, has been taken from which poem? So here Bathsheba appears in this novel, Far from the Madding Crowd. Another important character of this novel is Gabriel Oak, who is a Seyfert. And please tell me or write down in the comment box that the title Far from the Madding Crowd has been taken from where. Okay. So Bathsheba Everdeen, fictional character, heroine of the pastoral novel. It's a pastoral novel that is Far from the Madding Crowd, published in 1874 by Thomas Hardy. In this novel, that is Far from the Madding Crowd, it's said in Wessex, that is in rural southwest England. Got it, Nitu. Elegy written in country churches, very good, by Thomas Gray. Exactly. It has been earlier as I had been earlier in is Under the Greenwood Tree. You know that here Under the Greenwood Tree, the novel, its subtitle is actually a rural painting of the Dutch school. Okay, under the 1751 exactly, got Neetu, excellent. Under the Greenwood Tree, which subtitle is actually a rural painting of the Dutch school, the second published novel by the English author Thomas Hardy, and here it was Hardy's second published novel and the first of what was to become his series of Wessex novel. So in that Wessex novel, the first novel was actually Under the Greenwood Tree, having the subtitle called A Rural Painting of the Dutch School. Got it? In in the preface of Far from the Madding Crowd, he described Wessex as a merely realistic dream country. Okay, Wessex is actually a merely realistic dream country in which preface, in the preface of Far from the Madding Crowd, Thomas Hardy himself has described. Chalo, next question. Which of the following novels is not written by George Eliot? We have Middlemarch, Adam Beat, North and South, The Meal on the Floors. These are all novels. You have to choose which one is not written by George Eliot. Do not forget to like the video, keep sharing with your friends. Exactly. Who wrote North and South? Need to exactly North and South. So here you see that George Eliot's first novel is actually the debut novel, that is Adam Beat. Okay, the debut novel. Okay. Now that came in, I think, in 1859. Okay. Then in 1860 came The Meal on the Floors. Okay. So Middlemarch is actually another novel, but North and South, that is by Elizabeth Gaskell. Okay, it's by Elizabeth Gaskell. Exactly, Neetu. Very good. It's Elizabeth Gaskell. North and South is not written by George Eliot. So the debut novel is of George Eliot is actually Adam Beat, and the second novel, that is The Meal on the Floors. Whereas Middlemarch is also an important novel by George Eliot, having a subtitle called A Study of a Study. So what is the subtitle of this novel, Middlemarch? A Study of Provincial Life. क्या है? A Study of Provincial Life is the subtitle of this novel, Middlemarch. So here the right answer is actually North and South, which is by Elizabeth Gaskell. Okay, North and South is a social novel. Okay, another important novels by that is Elizabeth Gaskell is actually Wives and Daughters, Cranford. Okay, got it. Sure. Whereas the debut novel, the first novel by Elizabeth Gaskell is Mary Barton, published in 1848. So which one is the debut novel by Elizabeth Gaskell? That is Mary Barton, published in 1848. And here North and South is a social novel. Other important novel by here, that is Elizabeth Gaskell, is Wives and Daughters and Cranford. Sure. Next question. Which of the following literary works is an example of Bildungsroman? The Wasteland, The Great Expectations, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, and Beowulf. Which one is an example of Bildungsroman? Bildungsroman is actually a genre, the moral and psychological development of the protagonist from childhood to adulthood. Okay, that is from childhood to adulthood. Okay, moral and psychological development can be found. Exactly, Great Expectations. Another important. Will you please write it down? Very good, Neetu. Will you please write down another Bildungsroman novel written by Charles Dickens? Okay, will you please write down in the comment box another important that is Bildungsroman novel by Charles Dickens? That is actually David Copperfield. Exactly. David Copperfield is another important. David Copperfield. David Copperfield is another Bildungsroman novel. So in Great Expectation, we found the protagonist is Peeve, whose full name is Philip Peeve. Whose full name is Philip Peeve. Okay, Philip Peeve. We have two important convicts. One is the Abel Magwitch. Abel Magwitch. Okay, Abel Magwitch, and the antagonist, that is we have Compison. Okay, Abel Magwitch. We have another convict, that is antagonist Compison. We have character like Miss Havisham. Okay, Miss Havisham. we have also another important the adopted daughter, Miss Havisham's adopted daughter is actually Estella. Okay, Miss Havisham's adopted daughter is Estella, and Miss Havisham stays in the house. That is, the name of the house is Satie's house. What? Satie's, S-A-T-I-S, Satie's house. So where actually Miss Havisham lives. Got it? Very good, Nitu. Exactly. Exactly. You see, it's a literary genre, that is a Bildungsroman. It focuses on the psychological and the moral growth of the protagonist. It's also known as what? Coming of age novel. Okay? Coming of age novel. That is Bildungsroman novel. Okay? So the moral growth of the protagonist from childhood to adulthood. That is a coming of age, in which character change is important. Here you see that the German word Bildung, that is education, alternately forming and Roman novel. Sure. Very good, Nitu. Here is next question on your screen. The phrase survival of the fittest. Okay, you must know that. Everybody will answer like this, that okay, the phrase survival of the fittest is associated with which writer's work? Charles Dickens, George Eliot, Alfred Lord Tennyson, Herbert Spencer. What would be the right answer here? You all know that Origin of Species, that is by Charles Darwin. But here, my question is that the phrase survival of the fittest was first used as is associated with which writer's work? Sorry. Here actually, you see that Herbert Spencer is the right answer. Okay, Nitu. Here, the phrase survival of the fittest is associated with which writer's work? It is the work of Herbert Spencer. Herbert Spencer. You see the explanation here in the next PPT. The next slide. Survival of the fittest is a phrase that originated from Darwinian evolutionary theory as a way of describing the mechanism of natural selection. Okay, that is originated from. But Herbert Spencer first used the phrase, that is survival of the fittest, after reading Charles Darwin's On the Origin of Species in his work that is called Principles of Biology. Principles of Biology. Now got it? Survival of the fittest. This phrase was first used in the work called Principles of Biology after reading Charles Darwin's On the Origin of Species. Chalo. Which of the following translated ancient Sanskrit text into English, contributing significantly to the understanding of Indian philosophy? Mahatma Gandhi, Sri Aurobindo, Jawaharlal Nehru, Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Translated ancient Sanskrit texts like Upanishads, okay, Vedanta into English, contributing significantly to the understanding of an Indian philosophy. So here actually it's Sri Aurobindo is the right answer. B. Sri Aurobindo is the right answer. Sri Aurobindo translated ancient Sanskrit texts into English, which helped make Indian philosophy more accessible to a global audience. He was a gifted translator and a philosopher who was fluent in English and Indian languages. He translated Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Anandamad, also wrote about the Vedas, Upanishads, other classical Sanskrit literature. So here, Sri Aurobindo is the right answer. Which of the following is the key theme in Raja Rao's Kantapura? Kantapura, urban alienation, no. The Gandhian movement and its impact on South Indian village, the clash between tradition and modernity, the exploration of metaphysical questions. So here, the key theme of Raja Rao's Kantapura is actually the Gandhian movement and its impact on South Indian village. So B is the right answer. Moving on to question number, here is the explanation. You see the themes of the novel Kantapura by Raja Rao. The main themes are the struggle for Indian independence and the impact of Mahatma Gandhi's principles of non-violence and equality. Question number, got it. The progressive writers movement. The progressive writers movement. Okay, very important question. The progressive writers movement, which influenced many Indian writers, was associated with. Got it, Nitu. Romantic idealism, social realism and leftist ideology, religious mysticism, post-modern experimentation. progressive writers movement was associated with what? Not romantic idealism, religious mysticism भी नहीं होगा, post modern experimentation नहीं होगा. So here the right answer is B, social realism and leftist ideology. Here you see the explanation that the Progressive Writers Association or the Progressive Writers Movement of the India was a progressive literary movement in pre-partition British India. कब? In pre-partition British India. So some branches of this writers group existed around the world besides in India and Pakistan. Here the focus, these groups were anti-imperialistic. They were anti-imperialistic and left-oriented. And they sought to inspire people through their writings advocating what? They advocated equality among all humans, and they were attacking social injustice, backwardness in the society. So here you see that the progressive rights movement, that is social realism, associated with social realism and leftist ideology. Chalo. Next question. The new criticism. Yesterday I also discussed this kind of question. The new criticism, that is the movement, influenced the critical reception of Indian English poetry by focusing on what? The social and political context of the poems, the author's biography and intention, the textual autonomy and formal elements of the poems, the reader's subjective experience. Hmm. Again this is C. Need to exactly textual autonomy, that is text is self-content. Yesterday also the text is self-content. Okay, self-content. Then close reading. Okay, close reading of the text is also given importance, and textual autonomy and formal elements. So here C is the right answer. Okay. Salman Rushdie's The Satanic Verses. Okay, very important work. Salman Rushdie employs which literary device to very good Nitu, to challenge notions of religious orthodoxy, allegory, parody and blasphemy, stream of consciousness, dramatic monologue. You know that a fatwa was issued against Salman Rushdie's publication of this work, The Satanic Verses. A fatwa was issued after the publication of this Salman Rushdie's work, that is Satanic Verses. So employs the literary device called like parody. Okay, parody and blasphemy, religious based blasphemy. Parody exactly Nitu. Parody and blasphemy. Here you see exactly. You see, this is the fourth novel. Satanic Verse is the fourth novel by Salman Rushdie. Here, he was actually inspired by the life of the Islamic prophet Muhammad. As with his previous books, Rushdie also used magic realism in this novel. The title refers to the Satanic Verses, a group of Quranic verses about the pagan Meccan goddesses. You must also know that this book won him 1988 Booker Prize. So he got Booker Prize for this novel, The Satanic Verses, in the year 1988. We have two important protagonists, that is the Farishta. Okay, we have Farishta and Saladin Chamcha are both actors of Indian Muslim background. So the characters like Farishta and Saladin Chamcha are both actors of Indian Muslim background. Got it. He also in Midnight Children also Salman Rushdie used magic realism. Here the book Satanic Verses, and it's the book, it's perceived blasphemy, motivated Islamic extremist bombings, killings and riots, and sparked a debate about censorship and religiously motivated violence. And featuring unrest, the Rajiv Gandhi government banned the importation of the book into India. And you see that a fatwa was issued against Rushdie, resulting in several failed assassination attempts on the author, who was granted police protection by the UK government. UK government gave him protection, police protection. Question number 26. Raja Rao's The Serpent and the Roe. The protagonist's metaphysical quest is primarily driven by. Now, first question is that who is the protagonist of this novel, The Serpent and the Roe? That is Ramaswamy. That is Ramaswamy. Okay, Ramaswamy is actually the protagonist of this novel, The Serpent and the Roe. Here, this protagonist Ramaswamy's metaphysical quest is primarily driven by what? By a desire for political liberation, a search for the Guru, and the ultimate truth of Advaita Vedanta, an exploration of the complexities of marital relationship, an attempt to reconcile Eastern and Western philosophies. So here the right answer is actually B, a search for the Guru and the ultimate truth of Advaita Vedanta. So here B is the right answer. So Ramaswamy is the protagonist of this novel. Here you see in Raja Ras Serpent and the Rope, the protagonist Ramaswamy's metaphysical quest is primarily driven by a deep desire to achieve self-realization. To achieve what? Self-realization through the exploration of Indian philosophy, particularly the Vedantic concept of non-duality, seeking to understand the ultimate reality beyond the illusion of the physical world. Beyond the illusion of the physical world. And his journey is heavily influenced by this sage, that is Sankaracharya. Okay? By the teachings of Upanishad and Sankaracharya. So you see the title, the serpent and the roe. The serpent and the roe, symbolic representation, itself symbolizes the duality of illusion and reality. The serpent representing what? Illusory world, and the robe representing the path of the truth. This title is also very symbolic. The serpent is representing what? Illusory world, and the robe representing what? The path of truth. The path to truth. The path to truth. The Golden Gate. Okay, another important novel. It is a verse novel. It's a verse novel. Okay, verse novel by Bikram Seth is notable for its use of free verse, the narrative written entirely in sonnet form, epic scope, historical detail, use of regional dialects. Bikram Seth's important novel, The Golden Gate, is actually notable for its what? For its narrative written entirely in sonnet form. It's a verse novel, so here B is the right answer. Okay, got it? Exactly, Nitu. It's B. It's B. Very good, very good. Well done. Okay, Golden Gate, published in the year 1986, is the first novel by the poet and the novelist Bikram Seth. The work is a novel in verse composed of 591 that is Eugen Wangan. So okay, stanza sonnets written in iambic tetrameter with the rhyme scheme following the this one. Okay, pattern of Eugen Wangan. Okay, that is this is a verse novel narrative written entirely in sonnet form. So, next question. Poetry of Nizamical is marked by its what? Romantic idealism and lyrical excess, urban sensibility, ironic tone, and precise diction, mystical symbolism, philosophical depth, political radicalism, revolutionary fervor. In in the work of Nizamical, we find what? Urban sensibility, ironic tone, and precise diction. Very ironical, very to the point, urbanic, direct, also direct, urban sensibility, ironic tone, and precise diction. So here again it's B is the right option. Ethical poetry is characterized by its directness and conversational tone. The tone is conversational, it's also direct. He often employed irony and satire to expose the hypocrisies and the contradictions of modern life in his poems. That is directness, conversational tone, irony, satire, and he was trying to expose the hypocrisies and the contradictions that can be found in the modern life. Here is question number 29 on your screen. The concept of Natya Shastra and its influence on modern Indian English theatre is most evident, clearly evident in the works of which writer, which playwright here? Girish Karnad, Vijay Tendulkar, Mahesh Dattani, Badal Sarkar. Exactly. The Scorpion is also worked by the Scorpion. Exactly. Very good. You have to connect one text with another text. One writer to another writer. One date to another date. That's how we can remember all these tricky things. Exactly. Greece Karnad. Exactly, Neetu, it's Greece Karnad. In the work of Greece Karnad, we find the concept of Natya Sastra and its influence. Greece Karnad is the right answer. Muskan, exactly, it's Greece Karnad is the right answer. Okay. Here, question number 30. In Anita Desai's novel, that is Fire on the Mountain. Okay. We have one of the three important characters. One is here Nanda calls isolation is reflection of what? Her desire for political power. Nanda call wants isolation. It's a reflection of what? Her desire for political power, a deep-seated trauma and rejection of family ties, a spiritual quest for enlightenment, a rebellion against societal norms. Kapal Kundala, exactly. Hmm. Fire the mountain. We have Ila, we have Nandakal, we have Raka. That is actually here reflection of deep-seated trauma and rejection of familial ties. Familial ties, actually. I told family. It's familial ties. Chalo. So here B is the right answer, exactly. B. Got it, Muskan, Nitu. Everyone is right here. B is the right answer. Nandakal thinks her isolation is freedom. In the context of her married life, when she was responsible for raising a mob of children and supporting the career of a husband who never loved her, is a remarkable attempt to probe the various facets of escapism. In Nanda, Ella, and Raka, we have three rarities of escapism, all of them. Okay? So they wanted to escape the rejection of the familial ties, actually, a deep-seated trauma. So, the fragmented narrative structure in Ice Candy Man, okay, it's a partisan, you all know partisan novel by Vapsi Sidhwa, effectively conveys what? The fragmented narrative structure. Narrative structure कैसा है? Fragmented. Okay. A linear and coherent historical account. No, fragmented होगा तो कैसे linear होगा, कैसे coherent होगा. It's non-linear. Fragmented means non-linear narrative structure. The trauma and the disorientation caused by the partition, the romanticized version of the pre-partition harmony, the detached perspective of an objective observer. Very easy. That is the trauma and the disorientation caused by the partition. Bapsi Sidhwa's novel Ice Candy Man. What is the other title of Ice Candy Man? What is the? Will you please tell me in the comment box? What is the other title of Ice Candy Man? Cracking India. Okay. क्या है? Cracking India. Got it? Must remember the Cracking India. Cracking India. That is actually is a novel by author Bapsi Sidhwa. आइस कैंडी में इसका नाम भी है, ठीक है. सेटिंग कहाँ पे? लाहौर. ओके, सेटिंग इज इन लाहौर. टाइम क्या है? 1943 to 1948. The novel is generally referred to as a story about the partition of India. Hence the title, but its original title was Ice Candyman. Original title क्या था? Ice Candyman. Niharika, exactly, it's Cracking India, which allows for a broader interpretation of the story. The plot involves here Leni, who is actually a 4-year-old Parsi girl who recounts her childhood memories after she is struck by polio in her infancy. So we have here important character Parsi's girl, that is Leni, a 4-year-old. She is actually struck by polio in her infancy. Setting कहाँ पे? लाहौर पे है, याद रखना. चलो next question here. The God of Small Things, okay, by Arundhati Roy. The use of Malayalam words and phrase serves to. So बीच बीच में अरुंधति रॉय ने क्या किया? मलयालम वर्ड्स को यूज किया, फ्रेज को यूज किया. So what was the purpose of using Malayalam words and phrase in her novel, that is The God of Small Things? It's a debut novel, okay, by Arundhati Roy. Exclude non-Malayalam readers, authenticate the cultural context and challenge the dominance of standard English, simplify the narrative for a wider audience, emphasize the universality of the themes. It is actually to authenticate the cultural context and challenge the dominance of standard English. Okay, that's why exactly 1997 she also got Booker Prize for this novel, published in the same year, and in the same year she got Booker Prize. Okay. The God of Small Things, a family drama novel by this Indian author Arundhati Roy. It's a debut novel. It's a story about the childhood experiences of fraternal twins whose lives are destroyed by the love laws prevalent in 1960s Kerala, India. You see, it also effects of the novel also is exploring the effects of casteism in India, lending a culturally specific critique of British colonialism in India. It won the Booker Prize in 1997. Okay, it's a debut novel published in 1997. और उसका 20 years later, 20 साल बाद, she published The Ministry of Utmost Happiness. Okay, God of Small Things का 20 साल बाद, which novel published? That is The Ministry of Utmost Happiness by Arundhati Roy. Got it? Now here is question number 33. The character of Roji in Arkanarian's The Guide subverts. What is subverts? That is overturns. Okay, overturns or destroying. Okay, destroying. ठीक है, challenging here. Spiritual leadership, that is feminine passivity and societal expectation, religious orthodoxy, the role of the artist. Here you see that guide. Hmm. So we have, that is Roji. Roji is actually the wife of Marco. Marco, Italian, who is from Italy. He has come to India with his wife Roji. He was doing PhD actually, Marco. Now here the love triangle between Marco, Roji and the railway guide, that is Raju. Raju was first a railway guide, then he became the lover of Roji, and at the end he became a Mahatma by sacrificing his life for the village called Mangla. The name of the village is Mangla. Okay. So we have Raju, Roji and Marco, and here Raju is being sentenced due to forgery of Roji for 2 years, despite Roji's defense. So here Roji is actually wanted. Roji told Raju that she wants to become a dancer. She wants to follow her dream. And here she is questioning, she is overturning, destroying, challenging the feminine passivity and societal expectation. So here B is the right answer. At the end of the novel, Raju sacrifices his life for this village, that is Mangla. The Guide is a 1958 novel, and after 2 years, okay, in 1960, Arkanarayan was awarded with this prestigious award, Sahitya Academy Award, and he became the first novelist here to win this prize, Sahitya Academy Award in English, okay, in the year 1960. So here, but the novel was published in 1958. We have this fictional setting. There is a Malgudi, a fictional town in South India. Describes the transformation of the protagonist Raju, who was a tour guide, then a spiritual guide, then one of the greatest holy men, a Mahatma, at the end of the novel, and sacrifices his life. So, here is question 34. The plays of Mahesh Dattani, okay, often engage with the themes of. We have the important plays of Mahesh Dattani, like we have Bravely for the Queen, we have Tara. So here themes of what? Historical epics and mythological narratives, social marginalizations, gender identity, family dynamics, rural life and agrarian struggles, international political intrigue. Exactly. That is social marginalization and gender identity, family dynamics. Okay, we have Bravely for the Queen, Tara. Here you see, on a muggy night in Mumbai, Tara, 30 days in September, the big fat city, dance like a man, Bravely for the Queen, final solution. Okay, and here's the first, exactly, everybody right? Neetu, Muskan, everybody. Exactly. You know that he was the first playwright. Mahesh Dattani was the first playwright to win Sahitya Academy Award. So who was the first playwright? The first novelist was Raju's, the author of the novelist, that is we have R. K. Narayan. Here the playwright is Mahesh Dattani, who won the first Sahitya Academy for play, for actually for final solution, for final solution. Chalo. Today's last question is that the concept of transnationalism in Indian English literature refers to a focus on purely national concerns, the movement of people, ideas, cultures across national borders, the rejection of global influences, the promotion of linguistic isolation. Okay, and very soon I will be making videos on literary trends, awards, and events for the upcoming CUET PG 2025 exam. Okay, I'll be making video on literary trends, events, very soon. I'll be making video. Those who have not joined yet, have not liked the session, have not shared the session, please do very first. Exactly, the transnationalism is actually refers to the movement of people, ideas, culture across national borders. Exactly. So here B is the right answer. I hope you have liked the session. You have enjoyed the session. If you have any doubt, you can write down. You can ask me in the comment section. And if you also want me to make a video on any particular topic, you can write it down in the comment box. I will be definitely making video on those topic. And very soon I will be making videos on literary trends and events and price. Okay. I think day after tomorrow. Alright. I'll be ending the session here. Good night, everyone. Thank you. Chalo.